Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers.
I'm Jeffrey Lennon.
And this is Volume Up by the Tees. So we're coming in crackling, snap, crackling, popping hot today, Jeff. There is a trend that is going to make all of the hairs on the back of your neck blonde, really colored blonde or not, they're going to rise. Okay. This little trend is called hair. It's one of TikTok's latest fascinations, and it sounds as horrific as it is, but we thought our listeners needed to know.
Do we?
You know, there's a lot of
I don't feel like I needed to know. I'm so horrified. It's so upsetting, but please go on.
Okay, so we had, the hair popping, which was a viral thing where you just pop, make the noise. Hair cracking is actually pretty jarring because it's where people rapidly pull on the root of the hair, leading to a popping sensation. We don't like that at all. The popping sensation is an audible noise. When produced, the galea apneurotica separates from the underlying tissue. I mean, who is so bored that we are going around yanking people's hair to hear the noise? But apparently, there's a generation out there that's living for this.
Yeah, I want to pull my skin off. I cannot even handle this. It's so disturbing.
The good news is that anyone can do it. It doesn't matter your hair type, Jeff. It doesn't matter. Although
it doesn't matter. Turns out,
because your hair is so short, so you might be safe. This sounds like a terrible prank. Anyway, there's a lot of risks similar to cracking knuckles. There's no clinical benefit. It actually hurts, and it inflames the blood vessels that run below your skin. And need I go on? Just don't indulge the talk by looking at this.
Please don't.
And feeding it into our algorithms.
I could do for less of this. I'd take a food trend related hair color story.
Cottage
or
cheese,
beauty,
hot chip challenge.
Any day. Okay. Give that over hair cracking and scalp popping. I can't even. I'm glad you brought it to my attention. I'm sorry to all of our listeners for having done that to you. But you did, Kelly. We needed to know.
The world needed to know.
Happening out there.
Mostly, if you see somebody do it, go smack them upside the head. Something's wrong.
Strongly discourage them.
All right. Moving on from that lovely trend. On our last episode, we talked with Lindsay Rumpel. Lindsay has extensive work experience in the beauty industry and is currently the vice president for Hotheads Hair Extensions at Beauty Industry Group. She's been with the brand since 2021. Previously, she held positions at Joico and Henkel as the Director of Business Development and Senior Director of Business Development, respectively, from 2006 to 2021. Make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tees, and send in questions. No videos of hair popping to volumeup@thetees.com.
Don't you dare tag us in any hair popping scalp. This week, we're talking with Kelsey Garofalo. Kelsey is the co-founder of ART.kg, an entrepreneur and a hair artist. She and her husband, James, combined their passion and vision to give birth to ART.kg, a hair care line designed with a singular mission to unleash the inner artist residing in each of us. More than just a brand, it encapsulated their shared dream. James brought the strategic drive, while Kelsey poured in her deep-rooted expertise, ensuring that every product not only catered to the functional needs of hair care, but also nurtured the artist within. Their debut product, which features a unique cleansing serum that serves as both a shampoo and a concentrated scalp oil, paves the way for future innovation in the beauty and hair space. Plus, they've got a tagline that is out of this world. We'll get to it when we're talking. It caught our eye at Cosmocroft Las Vegas, and that is why they joined us in the podcast. It's that good.
All right. So, in weeks past, we covered New York Fashion Week pretty extensively, and we're rounding out most of the fashion weeks across the globe. And we want to talk a little bit about Milan Fashion Week. I mean, Italy is the fashion capital, right? And let's just say they do it up a notch. The street style was incredible.
I feel like wouldn't not be a dream to be captured in. I feel like there's nothing that I wear that would warrant being captured in this way. But I mean, everybody here just killing it in Italy. Milan doing the damn thing. I love, especially the hair. People are really making an effort to accessorize the hell out of their hair these days. I mean, it's not enough to sort of peacock with the clothes, which is so fun.
That's a great point. I think that, we are seeing a lot more attention to those details, hair, nails. I mean, we're seeing braids, we're seeing bows everywhere. We're talking about cropped haircuts. So it was definitely part of the look. I feel like
Mhm.
more so than in years past.
Yeah, the clips and the embellishments and the sparkle. It's so interesting that like we're really embracing maximalism, it seems, like in all aspects,
Kind of down
which
for
is
that. Just
interesting.
saying.
I mean, you would be, wouldn't you? I say with
Yeah,
like zero hair on my head,
it
where
would be.
I'm embracing a minimalism, you're embracing maximalism, and that's why it works.
The yin to my yang, if you will. I often think sometimes too in the street styles, I'm like, which one, I play this little game, which one of these would I actually wear?
Yeah,
And
that's
sometimes I can come up with like one or maybe two, but kudos to everyone for putting together the looks because that's an effort in itself just to walk about Fashion Week, wherever you are.
well, let's talk a little bit about things that are trending on our sites back in the States. Our editorial team has been hard at work this week uncovering industry news, looking into trends, and diving into brands that you don't know but should. And here are some of our favorite headlines. We just talked about scalp care in
Mhm.
a roundabout way in terms of why people might be doing the scalp popping, which again makes my skin
Ooh.
crawl, and the hair cracking. Um, but it's big business for hair care these days. Danny Austin's Divi hair products are now available at Ulta Beauty, which is an article that we're going to talk about. Major congrats are in order for influencer and hair care entrepreneur Danny Austin. Her scalp and hair care brand Divi recently announced a major expansion into Ulta Beauty stores nationwide. As of last week, Divi's impressive lineup of clean hair and scalp products are now available at over 1,200 stores. From the brand's beloved hair vitamins to its cult favorite scalp serum, which sold out in just 2 hours after launching, Ulta
Wow.
shoppers can finally snag all of their Divi hair care favorites while still racking up those ultimate reward points. Oh, and if you're new to the brand, you'll be happy to know that all of Divi's offerings are certified under all 5 pillars of conscious beauty at Ulta. And Divi's recent partnership with Ulta marks a significant milestone for the brand, not only reflecting its exceptional growth trajectory, but also highlighting its commitment to delivering effective and consciously made hair care solutions. Head to thetease.com to learn more about Divi and its Ulta partnership. We're not going to talk about hair popping, scalp cracking,
No.
and any of those things. But I do want to know. I mean, we've seen Divi now and a bunch of other brands expand their portfolios to include scalp care as its
Mm.
focus. Are you keeping up on scalp care? Are you? Oh, you are. You're
Yes,
nodding emphatically.
I fully believe in healthy scalp nurtures healthy hair. And it's so interesting to me, like why now this is just a thing. Like the pores on our face, we've been paying attention to them meticulously with a regimen out the
Mhm.
wazoo, right? But now we're just now thinking about the follicles on our head. And so I'm here for it. I think it's a very, very important part of the overall routine. And I might just try some Divi if it ever comes back in stock.
Boom. Loving that. All right. Next up, Cosmoprof hair pros share what they really think about cosmetology school. While cosmetology school is essential for licensure, it's not without its problems. Oftentimes, education surrounding the styling of textured hair or even new techniques tends to be lacking in the curriculums of many beauty schools. The good news is that even after you receive your license, the learning doesn't end. After all, the hair industry is constantly changing, so there's always new skills to be gained. Here, Cosmoprof artistic members John Carlos de la Cruz and Brenda Espinosa reflect on their experiences with cosmetology school, sharing what they learned, what they wish they learned, and how school is just the beginning of a lifelong journey. Considering that De La Cruz and Espinosa have been able to build successful careers post cosmetology school, you'll definitely want to take note of what they have to say. Head to thetease.com to read their insights. Isn't this interesting, though? We hear about this very thing on this
Right.
podcast. I mean, almost all of our guests saying when they've gone to beauty school that you can't look at it as if you're going to learn everything or
Yeah.
that you should. And there's a lot of that that's coming back in this article. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, has beauty school, cosmetology school education evolved much in 20 or 30 or 40 years? I don't know that answer, but I feel as a bit of an outsider, that it needs to, right?
Mm.
Even things like we're not teaching all the ins and outs about the variety of textured hair, how to make sure that you are a hairdresser for all hair types. Really interesting. It is definitely a lifelong journey.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And this article was especially enlightening. But I mean, again, we hear this from so many of our podcast guests that this is really just the start. So get into that article and let us know what you think about it. Mm-hmm. Last but not least, big news coming from Amika. The article is called Amika Launches First Ever Experiential Event Offering Education and Self-Care to Hairstylists. Picture this, a 4-day getaway that takes you back to the blissful summer camp days of your youth. All the sleepaway classics are there: bonfires, s'mores, crafting, swimming, and kayaking. Plus, as an exciting twist, there's access to top shelf hair education to help take your skills to the next level. Sound too good to be true? It's not. Allow us to introduce you to Amika's first ever experiential event for professional stylists, Camp Amika. Taking place on October 1st through the 4th at Cedar Lakes Estate in Port Jervis, New York, this transformative stylist-only experience is basically the ultimate combination of hair education and the wellness retreat of your dreams. Camp Amika will feature an array of enriching opportunities to elevate stylists' crafts and allow them to connect with like-minded professionals, immerse themselves in Amika's vibrant brand culture, and indulge in self-care amid the scenic beauty of the Hudson Valley. Head to thetease.com to get the full scoop on Camp Amika, and stay tuned to our upcoming episodes because we may just be having a guest on who's going to share more about all things Amika, including Camp Amika, but no spoilers. So you're going to have to come back and listen.
Come back and
My
listen.
question, look, we're not hairstylists, but don't you want to go to Camp Amika?
100%, 200%. I want to go. Like
I was sold on Hudson Beauty, like Hudson Valley Beauty. Let's go.
Come get a breath of fresh air. Like, yes. I love all the things you're doing. Amika does a pop-up, does an event. Mwah, chef's kiss. So I bet it's going to be quite incredible.
Plus the ghost stories.
Ooh.
I don't know. Do people tell ghost stories?
Are you scaredy cat?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. As always, so much going on over at thetease.com. Thank you to our hardworking editors. We are proud to publish stories that salon pros and consumers care about.
Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is a Tease media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. Brian Daly is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to Josh Landowski and Nathan Folks for the custom Volume Up theme song. And thank you to our creative team for putting together the graphics for this episode.